Want to catch the game or relax to your favorite music? Sluggers has you covered with TVs on every wall and a Touchtones jukebox. Watch, relax at Sluggers Bar and Grill.
Welcome to End Zone Online. I'm George Ayub with Bobby Mills, the 1,000-yard guy. We're at Northwest High School in front of their trophy case where the Vikings this week start a journey, hoping they're going to put another piece of hardware in the case behind us as the state high school football playoffs begin. Your favorite time of year, Bobby?
Yes.
Just a wrap-up of last week's final weekend of the season. The Islanders got it done against Lincoln High 45-0.
Right.
They were the 17th team in a 16-team playoff. Norfolk won the tiebreaker, but great way to finish for Jeff Tomlin's Islanders.
It is, and that's just the way they played all season. They never gave up. They didn't know if they were in or not, so they played till the end. Probably would have played anyway, but I love that.
Yeah. Terrific finish by the Islanders. Had a lot of injuries they had to overcome.
Oh, boy.
Pierce Allman stepped up as a sophomore at the quarterback spot. Great job for the Islanders. Heartland Lutheran loses big to Spalding Academy. They finish 0-8. And had a tough season for Lutheran, but they'll be back.
They will be back.
And they kept kids out, and so we hope for the best down there for the Red Hornets. Now, Northwest got it done against Columbus.
Yes, they did.
44-13, and that gets them into the playoffs. And they have an opening round game we'll talk about in the second half of the segment against Aurora. You and Denton broadcast that game. What were your thoughts on Northwest Columbus?
Northwest had kind of a slow start, 14-7, but in the second half they really took over, and they capitalized on every Columbus mistake. So they looked very good, mixed the run and the passes, Denton noted, and overall great performance, and now they get a rematch with Aurora.
Right, and a turnaround from their down week they had against York after the big week at Aurora. So Grand Island Center Catholic took on Boone Central Newman Grove, a tough team, took one on the chin, 41-7.
Right.
They're still in the playoffs as a number 7 seed. They're going to be hosting O'Neill. Mm-hmm. But that Friday night game, I think they ran into another really powerful team, as they did the week before in Adams Central.
I think Boone Central is right up there with Norfolk Catholic as maybe the two best teams in the state. Adams Central's in there too, but this is a good football team. And it's a terrible way to end the season, but they'll regroup by Thursday, hopefully, and get that confidence back.
Good. And so Northwest and Central Catholic move on. The Islanders and Red Hornets going to put the helmets away for one more season. A couple notable performances this week?
Well, a couple notable performances right out here that Denton and I witnessed. Kyle Bachman comes through once again with 140 yards and 20 carries, and then Braden Knuth once again at senior
Terrific
high,
job.
142 and 18. That's pretty good. I don't know how many carries he certainly didn't have 42 carries. I wouldn't think even coming in, but he did the last 2 weeks and came through big time.
Yeah, good for him. Good performances. We'll be right back with the Player of the Week and some talk about playoff football right after these messages.
Hungry at lunch, after work, or the big game? Sluggers features charburgers, brats, and chicken from the grill, corn nuggets, poppers, fries, and onion rings from the fryer. And don't forget about the daily specials. Eat and enjoy at Sluggers Bar and Grill.
We are back with End Zone Online. George Ayub and Bobby Mills here at Northwest High School. Bobby, your Player of the Week.
Loop City's Riley Lambrecht never had a carry the entire season, rushes for 367 yards and 35 carries. Scores 4 touchdowns, 3 from long distance. He was their leading receiver all season, but Brady Rasmussen, the 1,000-yarder, gets hurt. He steps in. He's the guy that leads the blocks that opens the holes for the running backs on the sweeps. Now he gets his glory. So we're going to have to give it to him. That's incredible.
Terrific performance.
Incredible.
And hadn't had a carry all season.
Nope.
So congratulations. We will get a frame certificate up to him at Loop City High School. And congratulations again. So let's talk a little playoff football. The Vikings are heading to Aurora for a rematch. They opened up a can on the Huskies.
They sure did.
54-0 earlier in the season. The high point there of the Viking season. Obviously, the Huskies are going to make some adjustments. This is a 10-7 game. The Vikings come in at 10 seed, Aurora 7. What do you look for?
You know what? I look for the same thing. You do the same thing if you're Northwest, I believe, because, man, that night was a special night, and if they play like that, there's not very many teams that are going to that they can't beat. Mm-hmm. So I think they leave it the same. What Aurora does, I'm not sure. They've got to eliminate the turnovers. They've got to, I think they have to give Troy McDaniel more time to pass. He made some errors in the backfield, but he was rushed, and I don't think he likes to be flushed out of the pocket, and then again, who does?
All right. And the defensive scheme, we talked about that during the season. After that game, the defensive scheme that Northwest had was terrific.
Oh.
And so I'm sure they're going to look and probably add a few new wrinkles just because, Aurora's seen it and they've seen more on film. So should be a terrific matchup for an opening rounder. Grand Island Central Catholic, as I said earlier, is going to host O'Neill, who's 6-2. Do you know much about O'Neill?
I know that they went through the same thing that Central Catholic did. They won their first 6. Good friend of mine coaches up there, Brock Eichelberger. Now, Brock was one of the toughest players I ever saw at Beamer High School. Moved over from Ewing. They won 6 in a row like Central Catholic did, and then they dropped 2 games to a resurgent Broken Bow, who always is good at the end of the year, and then Ord. But Central Catholic's 2 losses are by much better teams than Ord and Broken Bow. But it should be an even game as far as a great football game to see. I think that's really
should be a good game.
Should be a great game.
And that game is a Thursday game.
Right.
So just for if you're listening, Class B are Fridays from here on out.
Right.
And then Class C1 will go Thursday, Tuesday,
Wednesday, I believe.
Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and then back again to a Thursday, I believe.
I think something like that. They used to be a Saturday, and they quit that. So
Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Tuesday.
Tuesday,
just to give them some time, and then the finals are all the same week. That would be a week later.
Good
setup. So that's how that goes. So we will talk next week about the results of these games. Just also, if Northwest wins over in Aurora, they are assured a home game.
Great.
Probably against Beatrice, who is one of 2 undefeated teams in Class B, and they're the 3rd seed. Should Central Catholic win, it looks like they'll probably go on the road.
And Adams Central, that's going to be a toughie.
It'll probably be an Adams Central again, and again, that is a rematch for them, and that would be a toughie as well. But you have to play them one at a time anyway, and you never know what's going to happen.
That's exactly right. You got to beat them all to get to where you want to go anyway.
Right. We'll be talking about the first round results next week on End Zone Online. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Ayub with my buddy Bobby Mills. We'll see you next week on End Zone Online.
Got game? Sluggers features pool, Megatouch Aurora, Silver Strike Bowlers Club, Keno, and an in-house darts league. Play and more at Sluggers Bar and Grill.